Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm here to discuss tablets in the elementary school systems. We have screens everywhere now. It's a new generation where you can go into your doctor's office and there could be computers for children to play or televisions to watch in our homes and now in our schools. According to the University of California scientists, Americans watch a total of 3+ hours of screen time a day. The American Pediatrics suggests that a child should only have 2 hours per day. So we're already averaging above average for total screen time for Americans. The Wall Street Journal has reported that once a product is introduced into the system, it takes approximately 3 to 5 years of studies to determine how it will affect a child or a human. The tablet has only been out for about 4 years, and we're already introducing it to our school systems, but we really don't have a complete the issue of how it may affect them later. American schools are going to spend $9.94 billion on technology alone this year. That's a 2.5% increase from last year, and a bulk of that money is going to be spent on tablets in the elementary school systems. So as we lay off teachers, it makes us wonder, are we spending this money, are the school districts really thinking about our children and their welfare, their physical welfare? Because research is suggesting that at elementary schools, it's way too young to put it in there. It's affecting their muscular system, it's affecting their eyes, and their social behavior, and even their basic motor skills. Research has proven that the strain on skeletal muscles, there's been tons of research out there for adults, and there's more and more for children every day. Boston University conducted a 3-year study. They said 152 sixth grade students, 45 minutes a day they spent on a computer for 6 weeks straight. Some of the children did complain about sore muscles. More than half of them did, actually, and at the end 43% of them did say that they believe that the sore muscles were caused from the computer work and the sore eyes also. But a majority of them also said that they were too afraid to tell any adults because they didn't want to lose the screen time, and also they didn't really know how to fix the problem. Here's a typical poster you might see in an office. We've gotten to the point as adults we're very aware of how the computers and the strain and the skeletal muscles, how they hurt if you don't sit properly at a desk for a long period of time while you're on the computer. Children in the school systems really don't have this set in place. I think it's more because they only are on the computer for probably 45 minutes a week. But now that we're going to add these into the classroom and they want to use them on a daily basis, I think as adults we need to be more responsible for their child's welfare and their physical body. This is showing how a tablet, if you don't have a desk, you're going to have a tablet or a laptop in your hands. You typical make sure your back's straight, have a pillow behind it, feet flat on the ground. This is something as adults we probably know, we can probably guess how you should feel, and we could feel just sitting that way, how much better it feels. These are pictures I found on the internet. These are children enjoying their tablets in their classroom. This little boy obviously is way too close to the screen. This little boy, could you imagine sitting like that for a half hour and getting up to walk away? It cannot be good for his back muscles. And this little girl too, her knees are all buckled out, knees aren't flat on the ground. After a while, these are going to have a strain on their bodies. Also, they're showing the studies and professionals have a very big concern that the more time is spent on a computer, the more time they lose on basic motor skills. Elementary schools, this is the time you send them with their little scissors and their pencil, and they work hard, and they work hard on holding that and learning their letters. Yes, making an A on a little screen and watching it might be fun and a great learning tool, but it's not the same as grasping that pencil. They actually have a scientific research by Solzenbeck and her team. They focused on different handwritings from a generation 30 years ago to our computer generation now. It was a test that was taken 30 years ago. It was a pencil in a metal groove, and they had to follow along with it. They did time and accuracy testing. They did the same test for our current computer generation, and they scored 36% slower on finishing it. And they're determining this because we're on the computer too much and we're not focusing on our basic motor skills. We're getting slower. children in elementary school need to focus on. This is the time they play and interact. They use the Play-Doh, they cut, and they learn that grasping tool. Dr. Michael Rich from Harvard Medical School said it's so important that children are taught how to learn and not just mimic the screen. We're going to lose that practice makes perfect. How often do you tell your children or anyone, keep practicing? Well, we're taking that tablet, putting in the elementary school, we're losing that grip, that pencil, and that they're losing time to practice. Lastly, which I think is probably one of the most important one, is the tablet is a one-on-one computer. It is meant for you to be by yourself and sit down and play. By adding this to classroom, we're adding this detached antisocial behavior. Elementary schools are the time where kids interact with their peers and they interact with different adults besides their parents, and they form relationships and learn how to react with each other. By putting this in the classroom, we're adding a one-on-one detach. I mean, how often do you see people at dinner playing on their phones, playing on their iPads or iPhone, anything, and think, gosh, they don't even know how to talk to each other. We want to add this in the elementary school? I mean, we're just adding more fuel to that fire. Stanford University performed a study. They said that after the study was performed, every hour spent on a computer, we lose a half hour of social interaction. That's crazy. So right now we're saying Americans spend 3 hours a day on screen time. We are losing 1.5 hours of social interaction. And we want to put this in an elementary school where children are learning the basics of social interaction. I know it's a fun thing. It's a fun tablet. It's easy to learn. It puts us out like, well, what do we do? We're not going to be there when up with the other countries. I'm not saying we don't add this to classrooms. I say we need to be concerned. Why add it now when they're little? Let's really concentrate on what it's doing to their body, teach them the correct way to use it. And they're such sponges in elementary. They want to be there. They want to learn. Let's maybe add this tablet technology junior high and high school when we need to re-jump that learning and make kids get more involved in their classes and they're kind of bored. Let's do it then. Thank you for your time. I hope if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Thanks.